Viewer discretion is advised.
Not gonna happen.
No.
The thing I find incredible about kiwi farms is they literally, when they don't have anything to use against you, they will just concoct law. Like, they will just pull shit out their asses. And I don't even need to do anything. And this is why I say I don't post in my own thread. Like, even when I have an alt or like a sock on KF, I don't need to post in my own thread because they post everything that I would post in my own thread. Like, they make up shit to, like, you know, blur the narrative. They fail dox me. They concoct insane theories. They do everything that me and my friends would be doing if we were posting in my thread. So I don't really need to do anything. They do it for me. But there is like this one poster called Little Drip who is like thoroughly convinced that I'm related to this guy called Simon Miller. And it's so bizarre to me because this person like I've never been in a picture with this person. This person, I don't have them on social media. They've gone through all my social media accounts. I've never had this person on social media. There's literally nothing tying me to this person. And I was like, why do they think this? So I go onto my Trollcow farm thread, and some schizophrenic trans pedophile, like who's literally so schizophrenic that this person thinks that they're like a mastermind. They call themselves Blaine Ross. They are currently ranting on Reddit about exposing Sasquatch kidnapping cults. Like, this is the level of schizophrenic we're talking about. And this guy posted a photo of this person called Simon Miller's Facebook and was like, I think this is her dad. And I was like, why do they think this? I don't know who this person is. So I go onto the Facebook and they have like one relative called Elaine who has like no PFPs or like literally just mention this person called Elaine. This guy didn't even say who this person was to him. And he lives in London. And apparently he's Jewish. And apparently that's enough evidence that this guy is my dad. And I was like, okay. And Little Drip found this one post from this person. From this guy. Where they showed a photo of origami and was like, look at Elaine's origami. Bear in mind, like, this could be any fucking other Elaine in London. Like, there is literally no evidence that they were talking about me. So obviously when they rewrote my thread and they put these people as my parents, this guy and his wife, I was like, that's probably gonna land me in some sort of trouble, because I was like, they're probably gonna get harassed about me and they don't know who so I emailed them and I was just like, hey, so I just want to explain that this has nothing to do with me. And like, I don't know why this is happening. And they literally straight up threatened to sue me. They were like, we don't know who you are. We don't know who any of these people emailing us are. If you contact me again, we will call the police or like hire a lawyer. Pursue legal action is what I think they said. And I was like, fuck. Like, because bear in mind, I can't stop people from emailing those people because like, I don't know if people are doing it. There's literally no way of me knowing. So I was like, shit. So I emailed Null and I was like, hey, these people are threatening to fucking sue me. And I think I sent a screenshot of the email. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about anything you're posting in my thread, but can you not implicate people that are going to think it's my fault that I don't know? Because that is just, how is that helpful? If you have a random picture of someone that I'm not even related to, how is that relevant to my thread? So he then featured the thread to piss me off, like entirely to try and get me into legal trouble with these people. And I was like, okay, all right, be a fag then. So I think what I did was I just contacted the police and was like, oh, just in case these people report me, it has nothing to do with me. Like, it's not in my control. So I guess that's been like dealt with. So I'm not that mad about it, because at the end of the day, as bad as this sounds, being failed docs is kind of helpful to me. Because if those people get contacted, it has no effect on my life. If people like turn up at those people's houses, it has nothing to, like, it has no effect on my life. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I guess my only concern is that like these people think it's me that's sending those people. And I know for a fact there is this guy called Cucks and Gin who's like kind of a bit mentally disabled, who has like a lisp, and his former Kiwi Farms account was boyfriend coefficient or something like that. He emails these people And I know he does because he CCs me in. And then he's like, how did you know that these guys, how how are you claiming it's a failed docs when you also saw the email? And I'm like, because you fucking added me as a recipient. They act like they're like, oh, we emailed these people. How did you get hold of the email? You added me as a recipient. So like, that's how I knew you emailed them. Like, what? So I was just like, okay, like, so I was just like, I was like, bro, you can't exactly blame me for like showing you a screenshot of an email you like included me in. So he went around showing this screenshot of me saying I received that email, being like, oh, this is conclusive evidence she's related to these people. And I was like, well, you know, I wouldn't have seen it if you hadn't CC'd me in. Just fucking saying, man. So then these people, like when they realized it was a failed docs, they kind of had like no way out. So they had to just keep pushing this docs that wasn't of me for fucking ages until I literally just caved one day. And I was like, I'm just going to post like a photo of my fucking house, like a video, because it was obviously not the house that they had like in the photos for me, like of my supposed dogs. And then they all were like, huh, that doesn't add up. Like, that doesn't fucking add up. That's obviously not the same building. And I was like, well, no fucking shit. That's what I've been saying for the past, like, 3 years. So then they came up with other theories as to why the houses didn't match. And they were like, oh, this must be because she's squatting. Like, she must be living with a family member we haven't heard of yet. And it's like, you guys will literally come up with anything to try and, like, anything but just saying you made a mistake. Like, it's insane. Like, I have got people's doxes wrong before. Like, with the owner of Trollcow farm, like, the previous owner, like, I failed doxed her, like, 5 times before I got it right. Like, you know, if you're new to it, like, you're gonna fuck up, right? There's nothing wrong with getting information wrong, but it looks so embarrassing when you sit there and you have to continue your lie. Like, you have to continue the lie. Like, I find it funny. Personally, if this wasn't some type of, like, if there wasn't, like, a legal thing around it, I would go to this guy's house, this Simon guy's house, and I would be like, hey, do you want to do an interview with me for my channel? Like, that's what I would literally do in an ideal world. But, like, it's England. I can't get away with doing shit like that. But, the British thing, here's another theory they have. So because I've lived in England for like, 15 plus years, obviously I have a British accent. If I didn't, there would be something like psychologically wrong with me. Like, if you move to a country and you're there for like 20 years or whatever, and you don't have the accent of that country, like, you should literally probably be deported. Like, you need to integrate. Like, I don't know how else to say this. Everyone's always like, oh my God, we can't have all these immigrants coming in and not integrating into like our culture. And I tried to not be that person. I was like, oh no, I'm going to learn how to speak like them or whatever. So I can get like better jobs. And now all these Kiwis like, oh, this is conclusive evidence she is British. And it's like, I don't think you guys know how this works. Like, since when did nationalities and accents and ethnicities all mean the same thing? Like, I'm starting to think Americans are just really low IQ, because that would, by this logic, like, Josh moving to Serbia would make Josh Serbian. Like, it's so dumb. So I was like, well, actually, I'm not. Like, I just have the accent. I mean, I'm half fucking tempted to literally just post a photo when I was younger of me and my actual parents. But, like, that's just so fucking stupid. But I just, like, I want to prove them wrong. Like, I don't give a fuck about, like, the fact, like, my reputation or whatever. I just, like, these people need to be fucking told that they're, like, wrong. Like, it's, like, a petty thing. Like, how can you go through life just lying and on top of lies when you just because you're terrified of admitting you got something wrong? And, like, I keep saying like, sorry, it's, like, ingrained into my vocabulary, but, yeah, like, again, these people are, like, at the point where it's borderline schizophrenic. There are so many, like, times on KF where I've just been reading it thinking, when are you going to admit you know, you're cooked? For example, with Gator's thread, like, this woman, Shannon Gaines, her reputation is now completely fucked, as is the SEO for her name, purely because people just couldn't dox properly. Same with Metica Fembot. Maya, there is literally no fucking evidence this person is a man. Like, fucking zero, right? Like, there might not be evidence that this person is a woman, but there's no evidence this person is a man. Like, this person's anonymous, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I think it's a woman, but, like, I'm just saying, if you want to take a completely technical point of view, there is no fucking evidence that this person's a man. And yet, this person has been fail doxed as, like, 10 different people. Like, 10 different random fucking people are now included in this shit. Because KF just don't know how to dox. Like, before I came along, Strawberry Douche was fail doxed so many times. And that's how I know I got the real one. Because this person went fucking apeshit schizophrenic. And it's like, I have sent this person IP grabbers before on KF. I fucking know that this is the person. Like, I didn't just, like, pull this docs out of, like, a Google search for strawberrydouche@gmail.com. This person was sent IP grabbers. So, like, in 2022, like, this person was sent an IP grabber, and it was literally, like, the fucking same state, same town. So, I know everyone's like, oh, she doesn't check her doxes. No, I do. Like, I do fucking check them. Like, until I have that person's, like, directly or, like, indirectly confirming their own docs, then, like, I'm not comfortable posting it. Because I have, like, PTSD from fail doxing the owner of Trollcow farm, like, 5 times. But the thing is, I'm not a liar when it comes to a lot of stuff about myself. I just don't want to give people too much, you know? Like, if people ask me a question, I'm, like, happy answering it. Like, I'm not weird and secretive about stuff. I just am aware that the internet's, like, kind of, like, cooked, and I don't want people contacting my actual family. Like, who the fuck would want that, right? But the thing is, because I can't confirm stuff about, like, where exclusively I live or, like, who my parents actually are, I'm just forced to, like, go along with their weird, like, fake narrative about me. And I'm kind of stuck between, like, a rock and a hard place, because it's like, I'm petty enough where it's, like, insulting to me when people purposely get stuff wrong about me, but at the same time, it's, like, probably a good thing, because it's, like, a bit of an alibi, I guess. Like, no one can really fuck with me or, like, fuck with my freedom if they don't know the fucking first thing about me. But like, the other thing they do that I find really fucking weird is they will literally say anything and side with anyone as long as it's someone that they don't like someone that they don't like's critique. Like, with BX, her food looked objectively disgusting. Not because it was vegetables, not because it was, like, I don't know, different from what I'd make, but because it was bad. That this is the person. Like, I didn't just, like, pull this docs out of, like, a Google search for strawberrydouche@gmail.com. This person was sent IP grabbers. So, like, in 2022, like, this person was sent an IP grabber, and it was literally, like, the fucking same state, same town. So, I know everyone's like, oh, she doesn't check her doxes. No, I do. Like, I do fucking check them. Like, until I have that person's, like, directly or, like, indirectly confirming their own docs, then, like, I'm not comfortable posting it. Because I have, like, PTSD from fail doxing the owner of Trollcow farm, like, 5 times. But the thing is, I'm not a liar when it comes to a lot of stuff about myself. I just don't want to give people too much, you know? Like, if people ask me a question, I'm, like, happy answering it. Like, I'm not weird and secretive about stuff. I just am aware that the internet's, like, kind of, like, cooked, and I don't want people contacting my actual family. Like, who the fuck would want that, right? But the thing is, because I can't confirm stuff about, like, where exclusively I live or, like, who my parents actually are, I'm just forced to, like, go along with their weird, like, fake narrative about me. And I'm kind of stuck between, like, a rock and a hard place, because it's like, I'm petty enough where it's, like, insulting to me when people purposely get stuff wrong about me, but at the same time, it's, like, probably a good thing, because it's, like, a bit of an alibi, I guess. Like, no one can really fuck with me or, like, fuck with my freedom if they don't know the fucking first thing about me. But like, the other thing they do that I find really fucking weird is they will literally say anything and side with anyone as long as it's someone that they don't like someone that they don't like's critique. like with BX, her food looked objectively disgusting. Not because it was vegetables, not because it was like, I don't know, different from what I'd make, but because it was bad. There was like a whole fucking pile of like poorly chopped up meat in the corner of a massive bowl of liquid. The green onions weren't fucking chopped up. There was like a whole jalapeno in there. Like that is stuff that has nothing to do with culture. Like objectively chop that shit up, bro. Like the noodles from a fucking like ready-made noodle bag. What? Like this isn't stuff that's like about culture. Like you don't have to be British or not British to know that that's not how you cook. Yet Kiwi Farms glazed this person and we're like, oh, her cooking's delicious because Elaine doesn't like her. And it's like, eat it then. If it's so good, like please fucking eat it. Like that's all I gotta say.